I want to get a smoothie. Let's go grab one and walk over there. But wait, how do we do that? Well, easy. Just like last time with the idol, animate a walk the same way, and then we go on to the main timeline and make a motion tween. Whoa, okay. He's power walking with quite a bit of speed there. Generally, you want to apply speed logic to tweens. The speed of the tween will depend on the distance covered and the time, in our case, the amount of tweens. We just add frames to fix it. Bingo. Sometimes you might find your sprite messes up around the end if you use a graphic. This isn't something you need to worry about when you're using a movie clip, but with graphics, you want to make sure the keyframe number is right. If you click the keyframe, or make a keyframe, you can see what frame count the graphic is on and drag the number around to change it, or just use the frame picker and select. If you press F6 on the frame before the end of the tween, you can see the frame count of that. Because we extended the loop, it doesn't change the final keyframe number, so you can just adjust the final keyframe of the tween to be one more than this one. And you can clear the other keyframe now since you don't need it. You do this whenever the animation seems out of order, since it can happen sometimes when you're animating. There. This works, but man, this is really boring. It's taking a while. It'd be faster if we could run there. Let's just do that then. Keep in mind, since it's a run, we don't want to extend it by too many frames. Mainly 1 or 2, depends on what looks right. Okay, let's tween that. Since a run is pretty quick, you can cover quite a bit of distance in a short time, so the tweens can be short. Alright, and we're done. Okay, we can just make a blank keyframe and paste the idle symbol from the library and have him come to a stop. See the way we have our map constructed? It's got elevation to it. So we need our character to jump up there. So we're going to tween our character up there and down there. Looks off. These jumps are way too triangular. No arcs. An important principle to animation is arcs. One way to get arcs is to frame by frame the movements like so. There's an alternative way with tweens if you aren't used to frame by frame, and is easier to do. Now is a good time to cover nested symbols and nested tweens. Nested symbols are like nested dolls. It's a symbol in a symbol, and so on. This is useful for storing animation and reusing it like a punch on the main timeline, or doing jumps with tweens. So first, before we jump, we're going to need to get a ready up pose. An important principle to animation is anticipation. See, when we jump, we don't just instantly jump, we need to convey that weight with wind up. In animation, we need to indicate to the viewer that the character is going to jump, so inserting a frame or two of a ready up pose can really help sell the jump. There. Now let's import the jump pose and make it into a symbol. Now make that symbol into a symbol, and let's double click to go inside it. So for a jump, we need to tween the character up and then down. As you can see, just keeping it as is, tweens look kinda jank, so we need to ease that. Again, we covered this in the last chapter. You ease the up motion by positive 100, and the down motion by negative 100. You can also custom ease if you want, but generally, positive 100 and negative 100 works. Cool. Just keep the movements vertical, no horizontal movement. Now let's get out of the symbol. We have our jump. At the end of the graphic, make a keyframe and move it horizontally. Boom, we have our jump. Now let's add a landing animation. Quick side note, don't rotate the sprites like this where we can see that the feet are sinking into the ground. It can work for a close-up that's like the torso up, but like this, it looks lazy and weird. You're better off animating the landing with the keyframes given, since a lot of sprite sheets have landing poses. Adding a bit of squash and stretch, another principle of animation by the way, by holding Alt and Q to resize on one end like the top can help. We'll go more into this on the next part on transformation, but here's a little preview on what's to come. Still, it looks kinda stiff, right? We gotta ease that down. A common tip is sliding. Usually if a character is carrying a lot of momentum with them, like in our case running, we want to have them ease to a stop. You can use different poses, or just tween the idle pose a short distance and ease it out, or frame by frame it, whatever your preference is. There you go. Try not to rely on this too much, since you don't want it to seem like you're on an ice rink. Alright, that's part 2. Next we'll cover transforming. Till then.